Okay, so my wood is here. I'm so excited. So hopefully within like a week, I'll have beds.
All right, so we're gonna start this up. So the basis of these flower beds are going, or raised beds, are going to be 4x4 posts. So we're going to cut those down to 36 inches each. What I did when I bought this lumber is I bought longer lumber and I had it delivered here via a truck because it ended up being more economical because I could get more pieces out of each longer section. So these are pretty giant pieces of wood. So this is rough cut cedar, so I probably should be wearing some gloves. So what I'm doing now is I'm setting this piece up to support it during our cut. Measuring off 36 inches. All right, 36 inches. And we got to cut 24 of these. We should get right around 3 of these per piece of wood. So the thing to keep in mind is you always want to remeasure because your saw blade has a thickness. So what I'm doing is I'm always lining right back up. Now I could be in a spot where these things might be, you know, a 1/16 of an inch off, but if I'm using the same measurement, I'd say in building things, it's okay to be off by a little bit as long as you're consistently off. Well, that's awesome. We might actually be able to make 4 out of these. This one seems a bit wetter than the other, so it's a little bit heavier. To be honest, I totally should be using gloves. This is rough cut. and it's rough. More likely to get a splinter. Alright, I'm going to try to frame that up for a better shot. Okay, so you can actually see progress. Yeah, remember the adage, measure twice, cut once. Alright, so we're doing a test assembly of one. At a high level, this is what we're looking at. So we have, and I need to be a little bit more consistent, so I ended up grabbing the smooth edge, and we'll put those to the inside so we can keep a rough cut look on the outside. So what I'm using right now are called pocket screws. And so I have this little jig here that you can get at Home Depot, or really anywhere. You can get them on Amazon too. And basically what it does is it drills at an angle and sets up these screw holes. So you just take your drill, it goes in this guide. And just like that. There we go. So that looks a little bit better with the rough. We'll use that for consistency. So I'm going to lay this down. Let's double check our camera angle. We can cheat here. Use a couple of these to ensure that we have a nice straight connection here. So I'm just propping it up with other pieces of wood. I'll probably have some strap that works a little bit better later, but this should get me in a spot where I'm pretty close to straight. Again, in a project like this, consistency is more important than all-out accuracy. Now I switched to the other side because what I want to do is I went from the lower screw on that side to the upper screw on this side because I wanted to pull into position. So I can already see like one of my design flaws is I built this whole thing in a piece of software called Fusion 360. So the one thing Fusion 360 doesn't do a good job of is wood's not straight. So we got a spot where right here these two stick out like this. So what I'm going to do is later on, I'm going to build all of these, but then with the scrap piece of wood, I'll put a scrap piece of wood that will pull the center into alignment so that it'll fit better. But this gives us a good look at what the front piece, and given that I used the wrong side on this, the back piece will look like, and it gives us an idea of how rigid this will be. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut all of the bottom pieces. Now, one of the things that I did is, you notice this is extended out, and there's a little piece over here that I can extend up. And I'm using that so that I don't have to measure every single time. So this will help us get accurate cuts while all the while not having to measure. Because every time we square up against our side, can we adjust this out anymore? Looks like no. Ah, man. Here. Nice, look at this one. That's a crappy piece of wood. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're going to set up all the holes for the pocket screws. Again, this is something you probably want to use safety glasses with. All right, do one side. And this time I'm making sure I use I want the rough aesthetic out, so I'm making sure that I'm doing our joints on doing our pocket holes on the rough side. And this will be what's on the outside. Well, it doesn't look like you could actually see what I was doing. So let me adjust you real quick. And so what we're doing is we're creating our pocket holes for our screws. We're using the rough side because we want the rough side to the outside. And the way these pocket screws work is they go in at a little bit of a diagonal. And so what we want to do is we want that to face outwards because it'll diagonal in and pull inwards. Given how many of these I got to do, I kind of wish I had another one of these. This might be a little bit better of an angle. Looks like we have enough to assemble two sides. So let's give it a shot.
Okay. So I just came out to talk through dinner with him, and this is where we're at.
Yeah. So almost done. We almost done with one of them. So got to put this on this side and this side. And then there's a center support beam that goes through it. And I got to put that in. And then this one would be done.
Awesome. And then we got to think through how we move them to the back. Cool.
Well, moving them to the back, I think you could carry inside of this.
Sure.
It's not that heavy.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
They're not that heavy.
No, and if we space them out a little bit too, like move them as we go, that's great. You know what I mean? Because the repetitions where I'm going to be I'll be a little worn out by the 4th, 5th, and 6th. But if we've got breaks in between, I should be fine. Especially if you get me pre-workout. I'm not like all wiped out like I am right now.
Okay.
Doesn't he do such a good job?
Alright, I'm going to finish this up.
Awesome.
We're at the fun stage now. So this is how much sawdust we created that we didn't collect with the dust collector.
He has a dust collector.
I do. I have like a smaller system. So it's kind of cool. It's hooked up to this power cord. So anything that is powered to it. So like I'll hook it into this and I'll plug it into the saw and then it'll kick on and run anytime something's hooked to this. So it makes it kind of nice. So it just automatically detects and automatically comes on.
So this is everything it did not get.
This is what the saw didn't pick up.
I can't even imagine what it did get.
There's a 5-gallon bucket over there, and that's what it all goes into. Jesus. And I just have to dump the 5-gallon bucket every once in a while.
Crazy.
So we got them done.
Good job, baby.
Did you film the back?
Not yet. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all the beds in action. So he went ahead and he built me 6, and I brought my phone out to show you to tell you the dimensions rather. They are, so the interior dimensions on these are 33.5 by 58.5 by 7. So basically that's just the interior, and I say that because he built these to be tall enough for me, pardon my robe, it's early, tall enough for me to not have to bend over to garden, but at the same time I could reach. For reference, I'm about 5'4.5", and I've got major back problems, so that's why that was such a big deal. Because we're trying to make sure that I don't have to have more back surgeries, and then I just kind of, you know what I mean, like there's a lot kind of going in that. And then so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've already planted my fall garden, and but you can see, I mean, this is kale, and so you can see you've got enough, you know what I mean, like you're doing okay, and it's deep enough that you can't grow a root vegetable, like you can't grow something that grows in the ground like a carrot or a potato, but you could grow anything else you wanted in here. I do have cabbage planted. I think that the one thing I would say is this specific, the length of the bed, if you were to grow something really big like a cabbage or whatever, obviously you wouldn't have as many growing, but like, you know, modify. He did do a 3D rendering. He has like a program for this, to build these. So if you want more information on that, let me know and I'll have him do that. But I don't know how many people actually want to fool with that. So I just figured I kind of come out here and tell you the interior dimensions. Obviously build to your height if you're doing what we're doing. But also, you know, you can see it's actually kind of awesome. So we've got 3 here, and then I've got 3 more on the other side of the garden, of the backyard, and it's plenty for the size of family we have and the like tenure level of gardener that I am. So yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to wrap this up and show y'all in its full glory what we're looking like. And now I'm gonna water my beds. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.